Listen, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're watching Spring Stampede 2000. So if you haven't already, I want you to go ahead and fire that up. I'm really excited to watch this because it represents sort of a new era in WCW. But before we do that, we are just days away from the big game, Tony. And when I'm talking about the big game, of course, I'm talking about the Super Bowl. We know that the Chiefs are going to be playing the 49ers. It's the battle of Joe Montana's teams, if you will. What do you expect? Who you got? Who do you think's coming out victorious and lifting that trophy?
Well, I think the Chiefs are going to win again, but I would prefer the 49ers to win.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm chiefed out every time I turn away. And listen, it has nothing to do with Taylor Swift.
Okay.
But it doesn't, because I'm not a Taylor Swift hater. I'm not at all. I don't know why she gets all this hate. But every time I turn on my TV and I see I'm almost ready to dump State Farm because I've had enough of all the Chiefs on the State Farm commercial. And I mean, they're everywhere. Kelsey and Mahomes are on every commercial, on every free football game, it seems like. And not only that, the fact that they bitched about the referees when they lost to Buffalo at home, and they bitched about the referees before. It almost seems to me like when they lose, they blame somebody else.
Mm.
And I know Andy Reid's not like that. That's the way it seems.
Right.
They blame somebody else. And when they win, you're going to see them all over everywhere. So I'm chiefed out. Sorry. So I'm hoping San Francisco wins. I don't expect San Francisco to win, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't give a damn. Play the game, keep moving.
Well, they are going to play the game. That's happening on Sunday, but you're going to be in Vegas on Saturday. And when I think about you in Las Vegas, I think about our very first trip to Vegas together. Or I guess actually we went to Vegas twice together.
Right.
But man, that very first AEW show where you actually wound up in the front row as a fan, isn't it crazy to think that the first AEW show, you weren't behind the desk, you were behind the guardrail? I mean, that's pretty crazy to think about, is it not?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's one of those things that is a very interesting story in my career when I think about it. And of course, I don't know how many people know the story, but as the story goes, we had StarCast and we were busy, and you had tickets to go and you wanted me to go, and I did not want to go. And you lied to me to get me to go.
Yes, I did. I straight up lied.
Yeah. And so I went. Matt Schiavone, who's working for us now, was in the front row with me as well. Really enjoyed the show. And the reason I didn't want to go was because I would be recognized and there would be some fan to say something fucking stupid. And it happened. Online, there was a picture of me. And it says, Tony Schiavone looks bored at the show. And I was not bored at the show. It's one of those things where, you click it.
Yeah.
And I happen to have that, I don't know. But I wasn't bored, and I was misrepresented by a fan, and it really pissed me off. And that's why I didn't want to go. But anyway, that's all in the past. Gosh.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, where does the time go? But AEW is going to be in Las Vegas. So if you're going to be a part of the Las Vegas festivities this weekend for the Super Bowl, be sure to check out AEW. Not that big of a drive, and tickets are on sale now. But man, between wrestling on Saturday and football on Sunday, there's going to be a whole lot of people hurting on Monday. So Tony, without further ado, we're going to fire up our Peacock, and we're going to go to season 5, episode 1. We're not going to watch the whole show. We're in a bit of a time crunch today. So we're going to start at 1 hour, 13 minutes and 35 seconds. That's Spring Stampede season 5, episode 1. The time code is 1 hour, 13 minutes and 35 seconds. And Tony, we've had such fun bringing on special guests recently. I got incredibly great feedback from having Ethan Page on last week. Shout out to him and his big wrestling show. Follow him on social for more details, but he's got a fun twist. It's a mystery. You don't want to miss that. So keep up with Ethan there. But Tony, as I understand it, we have a special guest today as well to watch Spring Stampede with us.
A very special guest. Is truly one of the biggest stars that we have here in AEW, and thus one of the biggest stars in pro wrestling. And when we found out we were going to have him with us, I went, really? That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah. So let's bring him in. Our friend, and I know you love him, guys, Orange Cassidy.
Come on. How about it?
Hey.
Good morning, Mr. Cassidy, sir.
Oh, wow. Looks great. Okay, cool. Just make sure my green screen is all in the frame.
It looks great.
It looks like you're flying through space right now. Look at you.
Right.
Tony, why do you have such an elaborate setup?
Because I'm good at pissing away money.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. That's great.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning, Mr. Cassidy. Can you tell us why you selected Spring Stampede 2000? Why does this show resonate with you?
This may be a shock to all of you, but I didn't really watch a lot of wrestling growing up. And later in my life, I found myself in a room full of wrestlers after shows, usually drunk and or drinking. And Chuck Taylor would always put on WCW late in the 2000s, and we would watch stuff. And I'll never forget the first time I watched this, what we're about to watch, because I was sitting there with Chuck Taylor, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. I think Drew Gulak was there, a couple other people, and we were all on the floor dying laughing at this match. So, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on. So I feel like it's good to have no context, because people just start showing up and doing things, and I love it. So I feel like I wanted to revisit that moment in time I had with my friends.
Very good.
I love it. That's what this show's about, man. Watching wrestling with your friends. We want everybody to watch with us. Without further ado, fire up Spring Stampede on the Peacock. That's season 5, episode 1. We're going to be starting at 1 hour, 13 minutes and 35 seconds. Tony, do you want to do a countdown for us and then we'll press play?
I'll do a countdown, but before we start, I do need a little disclaimer here. I don't remember any of this shit.
What else is new?
Yeah, I was going to be like, hey, Tony, do you remember any of this? But I was like, it's impossible to remember any of this.
No, it is. People don't realize it's
crazy.
just impossible.